Today we're talking about travel and fitness. How do you go on vacation? How do you travel for work and stay on top of your goals? How do you stay on top of your nutrition, your fitness, your training, whatever it may be? And the four main parts I plan on talking about is first and foremost planning, because you do that ahead of time. Secondly, packing. Again, you do that ahead of time. Third, we're going to talk about my overall philosophy to travel, like either whether it pertains to both business travel or vacation. And the fourth thing I'm going to show you is what do you do if you're stuck in a bad gym? Because even if you plan, sometimes it's just inevitable. You're going to be at a really crappy hotel gym. And I'm going to show you some tricks to make the workout more challenging, because when you're limited on weight, it can really be rough to get a good workout in a shitty hotel. So first and foremost, let's talk about planning. That is where it all starts. I believe firmly nutrition, fitness, health is more about time management than discipline. Discipline is required in order to form a habit, but then once it's a habit, it's just part of your routine. It's like second nature to you. So like all the time people say, oh, I forget to take my fish oil. I'm like, do it before you brush your teeth at night. It's right there, pull it out of the cabinet, because you've already created this habit of brushing your teeth. So it's very easy to take your fish oil right before you do that. It's just about lumping it into a routine. And once something becomes a routine over time, it becomes character. So you go from needing discipline to having a habit to then it just being a part of who you are. Like weight training is just a part of who I am. And so when it comes to planning, I would look at your schedule, look at your life. And as an example for me right now, I'm going to Greece. And so I mapped out where we're going, where we're having dinner, all this stuff, which is just part of the fun of traveling. And you could also pay someone to do something like this for you, but you could also include in that find gyms. Now, am I gonna work out? I work out 5 to 6 days a week lifting weights. I do about 150 minutes of cardio a week. I'm a fitness cyborg. That doesn't have to be you, but I would tell you, even for me, when I'm in Greece, I'm gonna work out 4 times. I'm gonna be there for about 8 days, and I'm probably gonna work out every other day, and it's gonna be a very abridged, lighter workout. Even if I was traveling for work, if possible, I'm gonna try to get workouts in. And when I go speaking at that, whether I'm speaking at HPLT or whatever I'm going speaking at, I always have my workouts planned. I stick to my schedule to the best of my ability. You are a human being. You're gonna have moments where it's just not all gonna come together. So first and foremost, plan. So I know what gyms I'm going to in Greece. I already went online, I already looked at it, I already vetted it. I tried to get good hotel gyms, but in some cases I couldn't. I know one of my workouts is even gonna be at a Planet Fitness. So I would just tell you, plan ahead. Secondly, packing. This little pill thing that portions out for each day, this is my litmus test. It's a reminder, did I take my pills for that day? When I get to my hotel, you set up your phone charger. I literally set this by where I keep my phone charger. So at the end of the night when I plug it in, or at the beginning of the moment when I reach for it, there's my pills. It's a Monday, did I take my pills? Right there, my litmus test. Did I or didn't I? I'm not gonna go over the supplements I take, but I take a fair amount of supplements, not a crazy amount, but I take medications like minoxidil for my hair. I have them all portioned out in there. And then I do happen to take a lot of fish oil. So I put them all portioned the correct amount in this big pill case. And I take these with me when I travel. Let's talk about creatine first. Creatine, I think, is an essential supplement everybody should be taking. I bring gummies with me when I travel. I just think they're way, way easier than bringing powder. I've been stopped before at TSA for powdered creatine. I've never been stopped for the gummies. I've worked with this company in the past. I try to do stuff that's like a win-win for myself, the consumer, and for the brand itself, but I don't presently. I'm only talking about it because this is literally gonna come on the trip to Greece with me. It just makes it way easier to keep taking your creatine. When it comes to protein, look, if you're traveling domestically, don't bring protein with you. I've gotten stopped so many times in TSA. I almost missed a wedding in Utah over whey protein once. It's not worth it. It's so easy to find. You can find it at gas stations, pre-made shakes or protein bars. When you land at the airport, you can literally go buy your protein bars. There's no reason if you're traveling domestically to bring protein with you. If you're going overseas though, it's a whole different game. The protein bars that they have there are crap. The shakes that they have are crap. You're better off bringing. So I brought 2 protein bars for every day while I'm in Greece, and I will bring some of these individual packets with me of protein. These are travel portions. You can buy these online. I love PE Science, and Human Improvement's great because it has psyllium husk right in it. If you don't want to do that, and again, you'll probably get stopped at TSA. I got stopped for bars before. You'll probably get stopped, but my technique for whey protein is I portion out the amount of scoops I need. You'd see the scooper is right in this thing, it's right there. And I just put it over top, and then I roll it into a ball, and I stick it right in the shaker. So I put it in right like that, and I know how many portions I have. And that's how I would travel if you need to bring powder. But again, these travel packets are very convenient. And again, don't do it if you're traveling domestically, because there's a good likelihood you're gonna get stopped at TSA. One other thing I am gonna talk about, because I talk about TRT all the time, I do travel with TRT. I put the needle in the wrapper. I make sure that it's the box with my name clearly listed on it, and I do travel with it. It is a controlled substance here in the States, but I do travel with it, and I have no fear because it has my name on it. I can pull out my wallet and verify it's mine, and it's a medication. There's no need to have a stigma around it. So that is how I prep for travel, and it's way easier to be prepped for travel rather than land and have to figure these things out and having to figure out every single meal. This is gonna let me hit my protein goals very easily, but again, if you're traveling domestically, just land and take care of it. You could even, if you're traveling domestically, use Instacart. Have them delivered to your hotel room. It's super simple if you're traveling domestically. Let's talk about my philosophy for travel before we shoot my favorite part of this video, which will be how to train in a bad gym. When it comes to travel, there's both work and there's pleasure. And I have two different philosophies for that. Let's talk about pleasure first, a vacation. Last year I went to Italy, and the way I thought about it was tier S, pasta, something I love. Tier 1, something I like, wine. Tier 2, something I can live without, dessert. So what does that mean? It means I had very little dessert, maybe just like a spoonful of the tiramisu. When wine, I had a few glasses. I definitely drank more than usual, but I didn't have a ton of it. Pasta, I ate every day. And that's what you gotta think about vacation. When it comes to vacation, I'm still gonna work out 50% of the time I'm there. I'm gonna work out every other day, even if it's in a bridge, like 35, 45-minute workout as opposed to my normal like 60, 75-minute workout. I'm still gonna do something because something's better than nothing. And when it comes to food, I can have the things that I truly love. I just don't need to have everything. The things I'm indifferent about, why am I gonna splurge on those? I'm gonna truly have the things that I cherish or that are unique experiences. And that's what I would encourage you to do on vacation. Kind of prioritize, like I'm going to France. Foie gras, I love it. I would eat it if I was in France. Have the things that you're truly looking forward to on this trip. You don't have to have everything. That's how you can stay in a great place like balance while you're doing travel and fitness. When it comes to work, things are out of your hands sometimes. You're probably gonna be expected to drink. You probably are gonna be expected to be at work dinners. So when those things don't arise, when there's moments where your hand isn't forced, you need to capitalize on them. So having the Instacart delivered to your hotel with like non-fat Greek yogurt and some fruit, and you put it in the fridge in your hotel room. Great way to start your day, so you start your day low calorie. If you're at a work event for lunch, there's a work lunch, get the salad, put the dressing on the side, have some protein on there. Probably nobody's bothering you to eat a bunch of appetizers when it comes down to lunchtime. Dinner might be another situation. You might not be able to control what you eat for dinner, but I will tell you, most people, they still expect you to drink, but when it comes to taking care of yourself, it's a pretty hard flex, and most people truly do respect that you're eating right and that you're taking care of yourself. So with work, any chance you can capitalize on a win, do so, because there's gonna be a lot of times where it's taken out of your hands. And again, in both of these situations, planning, prepping is essential. So now we're gonna head over to the gym. I'm gonna show you what I would do if I was at a shitty hotel gym. We're in my home gym, which we're pretending is a shitty hotel gym. And I'm gonna show you 3 techniques that would allow me, even with limited equipment, to get a killer workout. First is pre-exhaust. The second is doing one side at a time. And the third is utilizing time under tension. So let's assume the dumbbells here only go to 50 pounds. Even I could get a killer workout doing that. And the first thing I'm gonna do is choose the most challenging movements that require the least amount of weight to pre-exhaust my muscles. So as an example, squats, it's a bilateral pattern. I can load a lot of weight in squats, but I can definitely do less weight with something like a reverse lunge or a walking lunge. So I'm gonna pre-exhaust my muscles with those challenging exercises first. Second example, I could do presses, but you know what will allow me to pre-exhaust my muscles better? Fly movements. I'm gonna start with the more challenging movement that requires less weight to pre-exhaust my muscles. Another example, if I was training something like back, Dumbbell pullovers. You need less weight to do pullovers than you do to do rows. So you're gonna tire yourself out doing those movements first. The movements that actually are more fatiguing despite using less load as your first movement, using pre-exhausting. Secondly, when you can, always do a unilateral movement first, meaning a single-sided movement first. As an example, again with the squats. Squats, bilateral. Both of my legs are paired together. 2 legs are stronger than 1. So what am I gonna start with? I'm gonna start with the lunge patterns. Think about it, if I was to do the flies first, my second movement would actually, in fact, be a 1-arm press rather than a 2-arm press, because the 1-arm press is more difficult than the 2-arm press. When you're able to separate sides from each other to make the exercises more challenging. Again, because you want to pre-exhaust your muscles because you're limited on weight. And another way, the third way, to make weights heavier is time under tension. There's a meta-analysis, 64 studies, and they looked at a 3-second negative tempo versus a 6-second negative tempo, and they found them both equally effective because the faster tempo allows you to use heavier weight and the slower tempo requires more time under tension. So as an example, if I were to press, and let's say these are only 50-pound dumbbells. Well, normally I'm pressing 110, 120-pound dumbbells. So what do? As opposed to going down and pressing, I'm gonna do a super slow tempo. Let's try 8 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you get through these reps, your muscles will begin to burn. It will be very intense, very quickly. So my tip, if you're in a shitty hotel gym, is first and foremost, pre-exhaust. Use the exercises that require less weight, that are really gonna fatigue your muscles, like the lunges, like the flies, before you go to the squats, before you go to the presses. When able, always separate the sides of your body. Do your left, then do your right, as opposed to doing both together, because likely it will make it more challenging. And third, slow down. Just do really slow negatives. You can still do fast concentrics. The positives can still be fast. As you press, you can still press fast, but just really control it on the way down. Those are 3 tips I would use, regardless of the equipment you have access to make your workout more challenging. And that's it, guys. That's my tips for traveling. Planning, packing, philosophy, and what to do if you're in a shitty hotel gym. Thank you for watching today. If you're not following me on Instagram, that's where the majority of my following is. If you're following here on YouTube, I really appreciate it. YouTube has grown a lot over the last couple months, and I love putting out this long format video. Thanks for watching.